Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to do wind effects in CLO3D. Let's jump into it. Alright, so here I have my completed CLO3D file, and basically my goal is to add some wind to the hem of the dress so it kind of blows this way. So the first thing I'm going to do is freeze everything that I don't want to be affected by the wind simulation. So I'm going to go ahead and select the top half of the garment, and then I'm going to come up here to Display, hover over Environment, and then click Show Wind Controller. Now we see this little icon is active in the scene now, and when I click on it, it's going to come up with a menu over here on the right hand side of the screen. All I'm going to do to activate the wind is check on this box that says Activate. Now if we look at the setting below Activate, we can see that it's called Strength. It's currently set to 1,000, which is actually very high. I'm not sure why it's set so much, so I'm going to decrease it to 25. Alright, so before we actually record this animation, let's hit Simulate and see how this wind is looking. It's going to take just a little bit to get started here, but what we should see is the wind actually starting to blow the garment in real time. And while it's simulating here, I can see it's kind of getting caught on the foot, so don't be afraid to actually grab the garment and tweak it a little bit manually as you're letting your wind kind of affect this garment. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out here so it kind of blows over the foot and lays nicely in front. And at this point, it's a good idea to play around with your wind settings while in simulation mode. You can try increasing the strength, see if you like the look of that, but overall you just want to make sure that you're pretty happy with the look of the wind on your garment. So let's jump into recording this as an animation. So let's go ahead and jump to the top right corner of our screen and click on Animation. This is going to bring us into animation mode in CLO3D. So the first thing we're going to do here is set start frames to 0 and end frames to however many frames you want in this video. And now let's start recording the animation by clicking on this camera icon in the left side. Alright, my animation just finished recording. It took just about 6 minutes, so not too long. I'm going to go ahead and click this button to jump to the start of the recording, then I'm going to click play to watch it back. And I can see how it looks right here. Now, if I don't like it for some reason, that's completely okay. I can just right click on this bar and click delete, and then I can make whatever changes I'd like. So this is my second attempt at recording this animation. Basically, I just moved the wind a little bit farther away from the garment. I decreased it back down to 30, and I spent just a little bit of time manually tweaking this area around the foot so the garment laid more in front of the avatar. And to render the scene in CLO3D, we're just going to come up here to the top of the screen and click Render. Then we're going to drag out this window, and if you don't see anything here in the render preview, you're going to click this interactive render button, and it's going to load up a new preview for you. And what this preview is basically just a reflection of what's happening in the 3D window. So you can position your camera where you like, and assuming you are happy with the lighting and fabrication in this render preview, you can come over here to, actually first let's stop our interactive render and come over here to Image and Video Properties. We're going to see this new menu pop up, and first of all we're going to change this first setting to Animation. Now I'm not going to go too into detail about render settings in this video, but let's do a couple things before we click Start. So the first thing I want to do is change this to Play Region. And what that means is we're only going to render the frames that we've chosen in these two boxes here. Now the second thing I want to do is make sure that my image size is good enough. I think by default CLO sets you to 640 by 480. I definitely want to make sure I'm at minimum 1080 by 920 or larger if possible. Next I want to go down to my background and make sure I choose a background color or upload my own image that I'm happy with. And finally, I'm going to give the file a name and choose a path for all the images to save. And if you're looking to create this animation with a transparent background, I actually do have a video that's going to show you how to do that. But as you can see, when you have Save Video or Save GIF checked, transparency option is grayed out. If I uncheck those, it's going to come back. But if you are okay with having a solid color as your background or uploading your own image right here in CLO3D, then you can go ahead and just check on Save Video or Save GIF. Alright, and the final thing I'm going to do before starting this render is making sure my noise threshold is brought down a little bit and my qualities are set to either high or very high. And then we're just gonna go ahead and click this render button right here. And there you have it, guys. That's how you do wind effects in CLO3D. I actually rendered mine in Blender, and I do have a video on my YouTube that talks about the workflow from CLO3D to Blender when it comes to animation, so feel free to check that out. And if you're someone that's looking to improve your CLO3D garments as a whole, but you're struggling to know where to start, be sure to check out my course, Level Up Your CLO3D Garments, where I go over a ton of information just like this that can help you take your garments from very average to incredible. Alright guys, so as always, thank you for watching and good luck.